Hello, my name's Scott, and today I'm going to walk you through how to do a basic text search function within Google Sheets. First off, I've included the basic formula in cell A2. Here you can see it's three functions combined: an if function, an isNumber function, and a search function. These three together allow you to search for specific keywords within a snippet of text. Here on the right, we could see those broken down. We have our if function, which is defined as if a cell meets a certain criteria, you could have one positive outcome or a negative outcome. IsNumber defines whether or not the cell itself is a number. And the search function lets you define what you're looking for, as well as the cells you wish to search. Before I jump in, I'll also explain that I will be using an array formula on top of the if isNumber search in order to automate the formula to show you how to make your work easier. Let's jump into it. So below here, we could see that I have some Amazon reviews as well as their stars. Here we could see that there's some keywords that look at whether or not the product itself was good, bad, if people were happy, whether or not there was shipping that was fast. So what we're going to do is we're going to use these to extract some of those keywords and show you which reviews have them. So let's get started. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the simplest way to do the if isNumber search formula by just plugging it in. So here we've got if isNumber search. Now what we need to do is define what we're looking for. In this case, we're going to say great. And we're going to look in cell A8. Once that's completed, we need to add a second bracket to close the isNumber function. And then we'll define our positive and negative outcomes. If it's great, we're going to say yes. If it doesn't have the word great, we're going to say no. So here, this has it. We could drag down the formula, and we could see that this other cell also contains that word. So in this case, we're going to name this has great. Now, next up, what we're going to do is we're going to actually simplify this process by using two additional formulas. And I'll do them each in their own cells so that you can see those steps. First off, I'm going to instead name the cell or the word that I'm looking for great, and we're going to perform the exact same action, except running through those steps, if isNumber search. Instead of typing in great as quotations, we're instead going to type the title. We're going to freeze it because we want to search across our different cells. Then we'll select A8, close our brackets with the double brackets. Don't forget to do that. And we will also type in D7 and no. There we go. Now that that's done, we could see that instead of it saying yes, now it's saying great every time it's present. And as we drag it down, we need to freeze the frame. We will get all instances where it says great. The benefit of this is that if we want, we're able to actually drag this formula over in order to add additional information. So here, I'm just going to change the freezing. I'm going to re-drag this down, and I'm going to instead say expect as our search term. So then as I drag this over to the right, we can see that it is looking for the word expect. And in this case, we just need to make sure that we have A8 and we want A to be frozen. And now all instances of expect show up. This creates a really scalable tool where we can add additional words that we want to look for quite quickly. Shipping or ship. And as I drag this over, we can see that it finds that keyword right away. But what if we want to make this even easier and automate the addition of an extra Amazon review? What we're going to do is we're going to add a formula for automation, which is an array formula. Here, this if is blank, you select your range. This basically says if a cell is not empty, then apply the formula. So I'm going to copy that in. One important thing with array functions is that you need to select your range. So here we're going from A8 to infinity, so to A, and I need to modify certain cells, in this case my A8 there, to A, so that this one also goes infinite down. So here I'm just going to freeze my formulas, and I believe we're good to go. With an array formula, one important thing to add on is that you need to remove all additional information that's below it because it's expanding and these cells that are populated are blocking that expansion. So after removing it, we can see that this automatically now populates. So let's see what that looks like in practice. So here, I'm going to remove these keyword searches that I've done previously, and we're going to see if this works. Yes. So as you can see, as I drag this over, so A to A, we just need to freeze that cell here too. Now, as we go, all we need to do is drag it over cell D8 infinitely, and we can add whatever words we want. So here we could say happy. And one thing that I'll do is I'll just make this a little more intuitive. I'll switch this back to a yes. And then what we'll do is we'll summarize that information afterwards. So here we've got A to A, and we are good to go. So what we want to do is we want to add some of these other keywords into the mix. We've got happy, return, review, and sucks. So happy, review, return, and sucks. So now by just dragging over G8, we can see all these instances where the words are present. Now, if we wanted, we could use this in a pivot table to then further evaluate this data, which I'm going to go ahead and do by just selecting it all, data, pivot table. We will add in our keywords. Let's just do this with one of them and say expect. So when we add in the values for expect, we can see that we've got 7 no's and 2 yeses. If we want, we could do this alternatively with others. We could add in return, and we could see the amount of yeses and no's if we just remove this. And this way, we have a simple way to count anytime a certain key text is there present. Additionally, what this also lets us do is if we want to add in new reviews under this, we can easily do that. For the sake of the demonstration, I'll just copy and paste them. So here, as we add in new values, you could see the functions or the cells with array functions automatically populate when new data is present. This lets you automate the majority of your work. And let's say you wanted to do this at scale with hundreds of reviews. Finding keywords is quite simple. Well, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And please feel free to subscribe. It helps me a lot. Thank you.